everyone, it's Carissa from Sprinkled with Glitter, and I am here with a project for you. This project is actually a birthday card, and it is for the My Pink Stamper February blog hop. So you can start over at mypinkstamper.com to participate in the whole blog hop. But be sure to check out the extra details on my website at sprinkledwithglitter.com. So today I'm going to be using the Sweet Goodness stamp set from My Pink Stamper, and our challenge was to use the color red, a pink ribbon, a circle, and more than one My Pink Stamper stamp. So this is the project that I came up with. I'm starting with a card base that when it's open it measures 6.5 by 6.5, and so when you score it and fold it in half, it is actually a 3.25 by 6.5. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, 3.25 by 6.5. And the reason I chose that is I actually have these fun little envelopes here. I'll show you that I wanted to use, and they have like the cute little flap, and it will slide in here. And these are actually from Stampin' Up, so you can get them there, and I'm sure you can find these this size envelope at other places too. So the envelope measures 3.5 by 6.75. So I'll go ahead and set that aside. This is actually white cardstock, but it's actually a shimmer white cardstock. So it kind of adds a little glitz. It's more noticeable in person than what you can probably see on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, and I'm going to start. I have a cupcake here that I'm putting on my card. It's actually a birthday card. And I have this cupcake liner cut out of vellum here. And to cut this out on your Cricut, you would just reduce the pressure and the speed a little bit. So I used, I think, a medium speed, and I stepped my pressure down just 1 notch from max. So I'm going to start by taking this Quick Cuts embossing folder, and I am going to run it through my Vagabond and emboss this piece of vellum. Okay, and so now I have my little embossed piece of vellum, and this cupcake was actually cut from the Sweet Shoppe cartridge. So I'm going to start putting this little guy together. What I'm going to do, because vellum is see-through, I think I'm just going to use just one dimensional here to attach it, and that way I have a plan to cover that adhesive up. Okay, and so for I have this kind of put together, and I realize you can see a little bit of the adhesive in places, and I'm not worried about it right now because it's going to be covered up in the end. So for my circle, I thought what I would do is, rather than mounting this on a circle or using an actual cut circle on my card, I would use a button as my circle. And so I have a little red button. So this little piece here brings in not only my color red for the challenge, but it also brings in my circle. And I just have some twine here that I am going to string through this button. So I'll just go back and forth here. And I have it doubled, and I don't want 2 strings of twine through there, so. Okay, so I've gone ahead and threaded that button and then clipped the ends here. And then I have this little tag. It's cut out of that shimmer white cardstock as well. That is going to attach right under my cherry. So I'm going to take, and I have this sweet stamp from the Sweet Goodness stamp set. And I am just going to stamp that in some espresso ink. So that's just going to go right underneath there. And I think in order to make this work, since I mounted this on dimensionals, I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of glue dots stacked on top of each other. Now I actually have the 3D glue dots, but they're rather large, and I don't know that they would quite work for this application. So I'm just going to put a couple of these on there. And then I'll put it right there. And so now my cupcake has a button cherry and a little sweet tag on it. I will cover this up later, but I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. I forgot to mention that this entire cupcake is cut at 3 inches. And for information on any of the adhesives that I'm using or the papers or anything, you can visit my blog, and I have links over there on to everything that I'm using there. So let's go ahead and get started on this part. This also was another way I thought I would bring in circles. I brought in circles on here, but I'm also going to use this edge punch that has a couple little tiny circles there as well. So this is just, I believe, a Martha Stewart punch. I'm just going to line this up and punch across there. This little scallop strip then is going to mount right on top of this brown stripe strip that I have. And now I can go ahead and mount this piece to the front of my card. Now the reason I'm going to stamp on the front of my card, but I actually want to be able to figure out my placement of the strip before I stamp. So normally I would recommend stamping on your card first, but since this plays a large part in where I'm going to stamp my stamp, I'm going to go ahead and mount this first. Okay, and so now I have my stamp mounted on my stamp press, and this is going to get inked up again with the same brown ink. So this stamp says, "Have a totally sweet birthday." It's from the same Sweet Goodness stamp set. Perfect. Now that I have my sentiment stamp down here, I can go ahead and place my cupcake. It was important that I get my sentiment on there so that I could also place my cupcake. I knew that it would all fit, but I didn't want to place my cupcake and then not have my, not have enough room for my sentiment. So that was why I went ahead and stamped that before mounting that. Also makes it a little easier to stamp when you're not working around so many items on the front of your card. Okay, so I have most of the elements of this challenge. I have my circle. I actually have circles everywhere, but here's my circle and my red. I have 2 of the stamps, and the only thing I'm missing is a pink ribbon. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and tied some a little bow out of this ribbon from Stampin' Up. I'm just going to trim it down a little on that tail. And I am going to place that over that, covering up that dimensional there. And actually, I think I need to move that dimensional up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is replace that. Sometimes we don't get it right the first time, and that's okay. Okay, my cupcake liner on there. And I'm going to place my bow right over covering that dimensional, and I'm going to use a glue dot for that as well. And then I think I'll go ahead and just finish this card off by rounding the 2 bottom corners. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of glitter around this frosting here. Okay, and there is my project for the February My Pink Stamper blog hop. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll join us in our challenge over at mypinkstamper.com. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.